Thank you, everybody, for joining another episode here at Toolbox Tuesdays. Like I said, we're going to be focusing on learning management. And before we get started, I just kind of want to hop through a quick agenda, different gaps and solutions that we'll be going through. As you know, we like to jump right into the PowerPoint and then spend as little time as possible there and then go into the live demo. So agenda for today, we're going to go through the gaps currently that exist in Business Central. We're going to go through how our learning management solution fills those gaps. Then Carlie's going to jump right into that live demo of learning management. We're going to go through a handful of different things. After that, we'll jump back into the PowerPoint, go over the next steps that you'll be taking or that you can take either for yourself or your clients to be successful with learning management, just like many of our other tools. That includes those 30-day free trials. We'll also give you some additional resources that you can use to be successful with learning management. And then I put Q&A there kind of just as a placeholder. I highly encourage you to ask questions throughout the presentation. Again, do all of that in the chat up top, and I'll either answer them in the chat or I'll bring them up and we can address them as a larger group. So with that, what gaps currently exist inside of Business Central today? The first one is that there's not really an easy way to build training courses for your team, your community, whoever might be accessing those in Business Central directly, right? There's no way to track who's taken these courses or classes, no way to see if they've passed or if they've been looking over the information. This can be both beneficial during the initial implementation phases, as well as ongoing training for new things, right? Business Central's always changing and evolving, so there's always opportunity to retrain and upskill on those things. And then finally, the tracking of whether people pass the courses, what questions they got right, things like that. And then a bullet point I don't have here, but I did want to bring up is the ability to directly embed some of these training videos and things like that directly in the user interface. So with that, how do we solve for these, right? The first thing that you'll see is that we're able to create courses and classes directly inside of Business Central. These courses and classes can be linked directly to specific pages. We're going to go through a sales order today. That way you can see the videos of the sales order. You can take the quizzes on the sales order, all linked to our course that we're going to create today. These courses can be self-paced if you just want to go through them whenever. We can also do kind of classroom or teams directed with a live instructor. Again, this would mainly be scheduling those classes and then potentially somebody doing it over a Teams meeting as an example. We can also have multi-answer tests. These are going to be administered and then completed by the users. It'll track both for the user as well as the administrator, kind of who's taken them and what their answers were, who got what right, who got what wrong. And then also the participation and the tracking for certification if you need something like that, right? So you can actually certify, or you can confirm that they've completed it. And then with that, if you have any certifications or anything like that that you need to issue, you can do so. So with that, we are going to get out of the PowerPoint. Carlie is going to jump right into our live demo. And Carlie, once you flip the screen over there, I will pass it over to you. I can see the LMS setup, so we'll hand it over to you. Let me know if you need anything else, and I will monitor the chat.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, Ben. Alrighty. So we're going to start here with the LMS setup. So learning management setup here. And I just want to point out a few things before we kind of get into the rest of it. Okay. So first off here, anyone that is going to be taking these courses that we're going to go over here has to be set up as an employee inside of Business Central. So really the core of LMS is being able to kind of create training materials for people, whether that's Business Central training materials or, other ones that you want to manage inside of Business Central, and then assigning that course to somebody so they can, take the class and manage it, take a quiz and, see if they pass and fail. In order for anyone to take a class, you have to be set up as an employee. So you can see my employees here. It just drops down to the Business Central employee out-of-box list here. And then we're linking them to an employee over here as well as you can link them to a manager that they report to. Okay, so just want to point that out here. We also have a page, LMS user permissions. So this is going to control by user what they have access to within this extension. So can they access the LMS setup page, which we are at right now? Can they update LMS courses or classes? And we'll get into that here next. And can they create a class? Okay, so you can control that on this level as well. Okay. two things here. We have an export and an import. So once we start to go through these courses and classes, you'll see a course that I have created is BC 101 Navigation. It's kind of meant to how to get started inside of Business Central. If you're implementing Business Central often and have clients that are implementing it and you want to use this solution, you could essentially, create a Business Central starter pack, let's call it, with a few courses that you want everyone to take as soon as they start in Business Central. Once you kind of create that starter pack, you could export those courses and then re-import them in, someone else's environment, so you don't have to recreate it each time. So that's kind of what the export and import is built around. Two other things to show here quick: show, answer, and quiz results. So you can create a quiz for your courses. And once the person takes the quiz and finishes it, do you want to show them the correct answers? I submitted B, but the correct answer was A, and it would show them that. So that's what that's showing here. And then lastly, this activate show video in FactBox. So this is a great little feature we have here. And what this does is it allows you to create a course and add a video. So let's say I created a course that's how to create a sales order, and I linked a YouTube video that walks them through how to create a sales order. I can actually link that video to a sales order in the system. So I'm going to jump here to a sales order. And what that does is, if you look over here, now on a sales order in Business Central, the users can automatically open up this video here just by clicking play and watch a tutorial on how to create a sales order. So kind of what we're getting at here is, even if you're not using this to, create courses and assign them to people and have them take a quiz, you could use this extension primarily for this linking feature here as kind of a self-guided way for people to go throughout the system and then have little videos to help guide them through. Okay, so you can link it to any page inside of the system. I just happen to be on a sales order now, and it's kind of giving those users a quick way to say, oh, I need a reminder on how to create a sales order. Okay. Alrighty, so I am going to jump into a course now. So look over here. I have my courses, and I have two courses created. I have BC 101 Navigation and Create Sales Order here. If you look across here, you'll see, I can add a cover image, a name, course description, the course video URL, skills that this is just free text for you to type in, and then the assignment type. The course video URL, right now it needs to be a YouTube link, and it requires it to be the embedded link. So real quick, I just wanted to show you how to do that. So I have a YouTube video open up to right here. And on the YouTube video, if you click the share right here, you'll see this embed button. So I'm going to click that. And then within this URL, I have to grab the embedded link, which is between the quotation marks right here. So this is the link that I would copy and paste and put back in my course video URL to correctly show that video. Okay. I'm going to open up a course here. So as I do that, I want to explain the idea of a course and a class, because you're probably hearing me mention the two of them. So a course is like the top hierarchy, right? I have, create a sales order, and then my other course was BC 101 Navigation. Now, if I want to assign this course to someone to take it, that's a class, okay? And I can have multiple classes per course. So let's say I want to assign it to Ben to take on Monday, and then I want to assign it to Matt to take on Wednesday, two separate times. Those I would create two separate classes underneath this course. Okay, so I'm going to open this course back up, and just wanted to hit on that, and we'll go over that again once we come down here and talk about classes. Okay, so again, looking at this course, I have some of that basic information we saw on the previous screen, the course video URL, the course type down here. So I could do a self-paced. So that would mean that you could really, when you create a class, the class is just assigned to one person. Okay, and so the class size limit is 1. I could also do a classroom setting. So, that would assume that we're meeting together in a classroom and the class size limit has no limit. And then also a Teams meeting, which would just be virtual, right? Okay, I have days to complete, time to complete the course, credits per course if that is something we're tracking. So I'm saying this, they get 1 credit for this course and it expires after 1 year and it'll clear their credits on expiration in 1 year. Okay, those aren't required fields, but they are an option. Completed conditions. So this is saying when the person is taking this class, what assumes it's complete? Is the trainee marking it as complete, the instructor or the manager? Is it as soon as the quiz is completed or passed, or is the HR manager marking it as complete? So we have several different options here. Assignment type is self-assigned, manager assigned, or HR assigned. And then again, those skills are free text right here. Okay, so this is just the foundation of my course. I'm going to come down here and real quick, I'll touch on this linked page. So this is what I talked about on linking it to a sales order. Page 42 is a sales order inside of Business Central. So that is why it's showing up on the sales order right now. And you just have to select view in FactBox right here. So I could link this one course to multiple pages inside of Business Central. So again, kind of what I mentioned before is, if the purpose of this extension for you is not necessarily to create classes and assign them to people and have them create quizzes, just this feature here on being able to link YouTube videos to pages in Business Central as kind of a guide would be a great solution for this as well, or a use case, okay? Jumping into the quiz portion, so I can create a quiz and assign it to a course. So here you'll see percent required to pass, 80%. They can take it multiple times and they could skip questions. So these are options. And then down here, I have 3 questions. You can create as many questions as you want. We can add a new question together. Question 4, it can be multiple choice, yes or no, or true and false. Okay, here's the question description. So this is where you would put the question. The correct answer is B, or if it was a yes or no. And then down here is where I'm putting the options, okay, for the answers. Okay, close that, and I'll just delete that question since we didn't put anything. Okay, and then the number of questions in the quiz would be automatically updated if I added another question right here. Alrighty, so there's the foundation of my course. Now getting into classes, you can see here I have multiple classes assigned to this course, right? I've run this course many times, and each time I run it, it's creating a new class. So I can see scheduled classes and then classes that have been completed as well, okay? I can also create a new class, so we'll do that together. Before I do that, the last thing to touch on is when you're creating this course and you created the quiz, you can do a test run of the quiz to make sure everything looks good. As kind of the instructor or the manager creating this course, so I can run through it and just make sure everything looks good before I'm assigning this to people and finish. Okay, so from the course, I can create a new class. So we're going to do that. And my class date, I'm going to do today, and we'll hit close. It's going to open up this page for me here. I can assign an instructor here, so we want to do that. I'm going to assign myself here, the instructor. I can assign a start and end time if I would like, so I'll do 9 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. And then down here is where I'm putting my attendees. Because this is self-paced, it is just assigned to one person, or one person is allowed. Okay, if it was a classroom setting, I can do as many attendees as needed. Okay, so here my attendee came in as well. Okay, so here I really created my course, and that's really all I am doing at this point. We're going to come back here after I take as the attendee, after I take the quiz, and we'll be able to see a lot of these statistics on what was my quiz score. And if there were multiple people taking this class, I could see the number of attendees and the average score, the number of people who passed, and the number of people who failed. Okay, so I'm going to hit close, and we'll see now that that course got added down here to my class list. It's scheduled because it has not been started yet. Okay, and I could open that back up from here as well. And just to hit on, before I jump to the next page, you can see that up here I have two options. I can email an enrollment notice. So if I want to let Carlie know that she's been enrolled in this course, it'll send her an email. And then also an email due reminder if Carlie's due to take the course but hasn't started it yet, and I can see she hasn't started it, I can send her a reminder of, hey, you got to start the course. Okay, so there's creating a course in a class. The next page I'm going to jump to is what we're going to do, my classes to instruct. Okay, so I am the instructor. If we look behind here, you can see class instructor is admin. That is myself right now. So if I go to my classes to instruct, I can see everything here that I'm instructing and therefore need to, start the classes. So that the 7:30 down here, I can see that it hasn't been started yet. It's been scheduled, and I can open it up from here and say start class. Okay, so this page here gives you a nice list of, everything you're kind of managing and need to look after, and you can email from here and all of that, really the same page we were looking at before. So I can say start class, and would you like to send notice to attendees that they can start the class? I'm going to say no for now, but the class has been started. Okay. The next page, and also here I can see scheduled, in progress, or completed classes as well, so you can filter between those. The next page here I'm going to go to is my classes to attend. So self-explanatory there. These are classes that I've been assigned, right? So I was the instructor and the attendee of this class. That's why I'm seeing it in both places, just as an FYI. So here I can see these are my scheduled classes. I could see ones that are in progress and classes that I've historically already completed, right? So I can say show scheduled, and now let's start this class. It should be ran today, so I'm going to start it. So as the people, taking the classes and need to manage, what they need to take and what classes are left remaining, this is the place that they would come. Okay, I'm going to start the class. Okay, and here's what it's going to look like. I can open up the video from here, and this is really the material that we're assigning the class. Okay, so they need to watch this first and then essentially take the quiz, what the class entails. Okay, so I can do that. If I come down here, you can see quiz results and stuff. I haven't taken the quiz, so there's nothing here yet. If I had a question, I can email the instructor, and it'll go to whoever was assigned the instructor to this class, and then I can take the quiz. Okay, so again, if I click this link, it's just going to open up and play that right here for me. Okay, I'm going to now take the quiz. Okay, I can hit next, and then here is the question right here. What line type can you add on a sales order? So I'm going to answer these. Can anyone in the system create sales orders? Only someone with permissions. Can I do a partial shipment on a sales order? Yes. Okay, so congrats, you've completed it, and I'm going to hit finish. And then once I'm done with that, I've taken my quiz, I can mark complete class. Okay, and this is saying, hey, it's going to lock in your quiz answer. Are you sure? And I'm going to say yes. And it let me know that I've passed the class in that error message. Sorry, I clicked through that pretty fast. But if I come down here, now I can see the question, what I answered, and the correct answer. Okay, so if you recall on the LMS setup page, I'm going to jump back there really fast. The show answer on quiz result button right here is letting them see the correct answer right here. So since I had that turned on, I can see the correct answer text and know that I got each of these correct, answered correctly, and that is that, and it shows passed. Okay. Really, the last thing I'd like to show is now that the attendee has taken the class, if I go back into that class kind of as the instructor, I can see Carlie's quiz score right here is 100%. She passed the quiz because if you recall on the course, I said that 80% and above was passing. Okay, so she passed, and then I could come down here and again, maybe more applicable if it was a classroom with multiple attendees, but you can see number of attendees, the average score, number of passed, number of failed. Okay. So that's really it here. Really the core of LMS is kind of two things. One is being able to link videos to pages inside of Business Central. Okay, so that is a great feature here that we have. And then the second piece and kind of the core of it is creating these courses and assigning them to people in order to take their class and take a quiz and kind of go through those training materials inside of the system. And that is all I have. And do we have any questions?
Doesn't look like there's any questions in the chat box right now. I'm going to check the Q&A just in case anybody put any over there, but doesn't look like there's any there either. So everybody on the call, if there are any questions, feel free to ask them now while we're still in Business Central, and we're happy to go over anything again. We've got a decent chunk of time left if anybody wants to go over the Q&A. Otherwise, if not, we can jump into the next steps then. All right, Carlie, we can jump back to the PowerPoint then. And again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to just drop them in the chat. Maybe in the meantime, if everybody wants to give a reaction, there's a little react button at the top. See who's still with us there, just since there are no questions. Just make sure everybody's still awake. If you liked what you saw or think that this could benefit you or any of your clients, feel free to drop one in there. Awesome. Looks like we're getting some reactions. So glad to see everybody's still there with us. All righty. So next steps, first of all, Carlie, thanks for the demo there. The next step would be to kind of follow up on what Carlie did, right? Download a 30-day free trial or demo for yourself. If you're a partner, you can drop this right in your demo environment, whether you're trying to learn it internally or show it to your clients. And then, of course, if you are an end user, feel free to put this in your sandbox environment, play around with it. I think one of the best applications that can be used here is for any partners that do have a lot of end users that they're training, building out some of those materials like Carlie had mentioned and being able to export and import them into your clients' environments. Of course, you would have to have LMS installed in your demo and then be able to export the classes from there and then put them in your end user sandbox. But a nice way to really get people trained. I know that's typically one of the hardest pieces is to learn the system right up front, right? It does take some training, and this is a great tool in order to aid in that training to make sure that everybody's successful throughout the Business Central journey, right? We've got an activation video. I will put that in the chat here. So this is a quick 1 to 2 minute video, just how to download, how to generate your demo key. And then if you are ready eventually to purchase the full app, we can provide those keys as well. And that will all be taken care of in the activation video. So after that, the last piece we have is what resources you'll need in order to be successful with Business Central. So we've got a full-blown product page. This is going to have all 30 of the apps that we currently have out on AppSource listed. We've also got that AppSource link where you can download the demos from directly. Again, every single one of our apps has a 30-day trial. That's going to include the summaries, so kind of use cases, things clients have said before that have indicated that this was the right tool for them. We've got screenshots, so you can kind of see a glimpse of what we went over today more in depth. And then we've got full-blown user and setup guides, right? If you want to walk through everything Carlie went through today, step by step, we've got a guide for you. If you're more of a learner that likes to look at the guide versus the videos, again, we've got all those different mediums that you can look at. Of course, our YouTube channel, pre-recorded videos of our product demos, as well as all of our Toolbox Tuesdays. So this one will get published again within the next 24 hours, and we'll send the link out in an email. If you want to review it, what we've gone through today, or you want to send it to any of your colleagues, feel free to grab that video directly off our YouTube channel. And speaking of YouTube, like Carlie said, you can then even take those videos and directly embed them in Business Central if you so choose. Product guide, this is going to be a one-pager per product, so it's about a 30-page book, we can call it, or our product guide is going to have a fit gap analysis of all of our tools. It's going to give you standard configuration and training times, right? So some of these tools only take a couple of hours to get up and running, which is the beauty of some of the things that we've built. So it'll tell you exactly how much time you can plan on spending in order to get these up and running. With that, it looks like there are a few more questions potentially in the chat box here, so we'll go ahead and answer those. And in the meantime, I will send some of those links for the app source page, the product page, the YouTube channel, all that good stuff in the chat. Awesome. Chris was asking about updating questions and answers via a configuration package. Looks like Carlie has already answered that, but the answer to that for the group is yes, you can do some of that import export through the config pack. And of course, if you're trying to import or export the whole content of a course, you can do so in the setup that Carlie had showed earlier. Awesome. Any more questions? I'm just going to drop a few of these links. So I just dropped our full-blown app source link there. That'll get you to all of our apps. Let me grab learning management for you real quick. I will drop that in the chat as well if anybody's interested in downloading this one specifically or taking a look at some of the additional content. We've got another question for end users. Is this only available during the implementation phase or also available beyond go live? So the application is subscribed to yearly, right? So all the pricing that you see online is going to be our yearly price. If you just wanted it for the implementation, you could pay the yearly price and then not renew it at the end of the year, which is totally fine. In that case, that would be the answer to your first question. Is it only available during the implementation? If you only wanted to pay for it for a year, then yes, it would be. If you want that content to be evergreen or there forever, which we typically recommend just because you're constantly growing your businesses and doing things like that. So you're always going to be onboarding more accounting staff or warehouse staff or whatever it might be. And then you don't have to recreate that content, right? Because it's already there. Once Carlie puts how to create a sales order on a sales order, it's on the sales order, right? So we don't have to go back and add it again. All we have to do is assign the user to it when we're onboarding them, which can also be a great onboarding tool, right? Not only during implementation, but as you onboard maybe somebody new in the sales department, you can assign them some classes for the courses and say, you need to go through these various things in order to aid in your training. And then the administrator, controller, VP finance, whoever's running Business Central or taking ownership for Business Central can see what they've taken, if they've passed, if they have any questions, things like that. So that's the long answer to your question, but it just depends on if you want to continue to renew. You could have LMS forever, even after your long after your implementation process. All right. So again, I'm going to keep dropping some links there. I've got the app source links in the chat. I'm going to drop in our Business Central Toolbox product page. This will be our website. Again, fit gap analysis. You can see the download links. You can see the pricing, our standard implementation times, all of that good stuff. And then the final piece I'm going to drop in here is our YouTube channel for all of that video content. And with that, I'll stick around for a few more minutes. If anybody's got any other questions, we're right at the half hour. So appreciate everybody sticking through it with us. Hopefully everybody learned something today and can take this internally to their organizations or out to their clients if you're a partner. And again, just really appreciate everybody taking 30 minutes out of their day to learn about learning management. Thanks again, Carlie, for the great demo.